This Wyrow HW97 with the Element Titan 3D18 mil optic, this combination is the tightest shooting Springer or gas ram in those categories. I've never had something that could shoot like this, ever. The consistency of this setup is amazing. So welcome back to Gun Totin' Minnesotan. I want to tell you a little bit about this setup right here that I have going on. It's not a super uncommon rifle. I think it's a little less common in America than it is in Europe because some of these parts are manufactured in Europe, and it's something that has actually been around for kind of a long time over there. And in America, I think it's just taken longer for this to catch on. But man, are we late to the game in America for just catching on in the last few years, last decade or so, to this technology and the quality of Wyrow rifles, and especially that trigger. This setup right here, I'm just going to give you a few groups and some ideas as far as consistent grouping, not my best day and not my worst day, but just what I expect to shoot when I go out on a windless day, not a windy day, but a windless day. At 25 yards, all same hole, 1/4 inch or less. At 50 yards, easily 1/2 inch, sometimes much tighter. 75 yards, I'm seeing about 1/2 inch, something like that. And at 100 yards, I'm seeing around 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, but sometimes way tighter, okay? So that's really cool. If you watch my video shooting at 200 yards, I know on a windy day, I can get around 10-inch groups. But I think on a windless day, what I've seen so far at 200 yards exactly, using, what am I using here? These are the H&N Field Target Trophies, so they're not like the most amazing pellet, but they're pretty good. That's 8.64 grains, by the way, with a dome pellet. At 200 yards, I think I can probably go something like 5-inch groups at 200 yards with this on a windless night. I'm yet to prove that with a camera, but on my own nights when I'm recording using my LR3 long shot target camera, I've seen some incredible groups out of this combo. And so I'm going to have a review. This is just kind of an update so you know what's happening, because I know I have a dedicated Airgun fan base. I have an optics company that has a new Airgun rated optic they're going to send out to me. I've been using this Titan 3-18x50. I can't believe how solid this is. Most Airgun optics, even the ones that say that they're Springer rated, not just shockproof, but Springer rated specifically, a lot of them have a life expectancy and a lot of them eventually fail. This one has made it many optics, many really hard-hitting piston type optics, and it's not giving me any issues. Nothing has changed. I'm not noticing some internal shifts. It's just consistent. So this is a Titan. I mean, it's a tough optic. Really happy with that. But I do have another channel sponsor, video sponsor, who's going to send something out. It's new with some Japanese glass and also claiming not just shockproof, but Springer proof. So that's, you know, the reverse recoil rating. I'm really excited to try that one out. That one is not going to have the type of elevation that this has. This has incredible elevation. This optic is very unique in the field in general, and that's why it's been on here. But I'm excited to try out some Japanese glass too and throw that on this combination. It's going to be a really high quality setup. Thank you to Airgun Depot for providing, first of all, awesome products. They're just a great place to go check out Airgun type gear. They had this before anybody else did. I was waiting for months, guys, like a long time to get one of these specifically. I decided I did not want to go towards the TX100. I wanted to go with the Wyrow option. I think the trigger is just superior in my opinion, and I'm really glad that I did. I think the TX is probably a great gun, but this right here, just, man, do I prefer it. I really like it a lot. As far as underlevers go, something kind of neat. The first video on my channel that I ever did was a Gammo, let's see what those called. Gammo Accu. I can't remember what it was. I think the first video was called Review of Gammo Accu 177. And that's when I realized that I really enjoy underlevers and that they can be incredibly precise. I was taking crows and critters at 75 yards plus with that Gammo Accu, and it didn't have, you know, a great trigger. It's better than some, but just as far as the barrel and action goes, it was pretty good. And this reminds me of some of those parts that I liked with the Gammo, but then a huge upgrade. This is heavier in general. That's something I'll talk about in the review. It does have a raised comb. It's not perfect for me. Adjustable combs are the appropriate type of stock to have. This has a little bit more of a European sweep to it than I would like, but I'll talk about that in the review. It does have a raised comb. Obviously, I've got that optic mounted in low rings, pretty darn low rings. They're not the lowest I have, but they're very low. And it just gives me enough clearance to reach in here and put in a pellet. It's a little uncomfortable for people who are new, but for me, I got it down really smooth. And like I said, this whole system, using those H&N field target trophies, 8.64 grains out to 200 yards, it's doing incredible things. And so you should look forward to this review. If you want to ask some questions about the optic, the rifle, the combination, how things are working out, what my data is for different distances, I can give you what I have for my elevation and the velocities I'm getting out of this. If you want to know chronograph numbers and that, it'll be colder temperatures. I'm here in Minnesota, so it's not going to be hot weather chronograph numbers, but I can give you some of that too. If you're curious and you want to start stretching your YROW HW97, you want to try that out? Absolutely, I could hook you up with that information. I just want to let you know what was in the works right now. You should pay attention. If you're an Airgun enthusiast, you should pay attention, because I'm going to do some stuff I haven't seen on any other YouTube channel. I haven't seen anybody take rifles like this seriously, and with the groups that I'm seeing from this, it should be taken seriously. One more thing before I go, one of the most important components on this for me was that can on the end. Buckrail is one of the biggest sponsors of my channel. Really, really happy with their products, and that's why we hang out. That's why I'm connected with them, is they just make good stuff. And in fact, I don't own 90% of the guns that Buckrail makes stuff for, but I own a few of them, and I've done a lot of content for Buckrail things because I actually believe in the product. And believe it or not, on a Springer like this, I put one of his cans there on the end with a European adapter that I got. I think it was Eagle Vision. Made an adapter there. I didn't go the YROW route for the adapter. That can actually makes a difference. And if you understand that there's no bafflick structure in this part right here, the barrel actually ends right about here, and then it's just an empty tube, a little bloop tube there. There's something that could be done in here theoretically if you know what you're doing. And then there's that on the end, and this is not a firearm, so it's perfectly legal to do that. It's not an issue at all to add that. So I want to recommend, if you're getting one of these, or you have one of these, or you have just something with threads on it, or even if you have something that doesn't have threads, like the Crosman 1377, check out Buckrail, because he's doing crazy stuff. That guy is just really high on ingenuity. I would love to know him more, because he's producing stuff that actually works. And I wish our airguns came equipped the way that he's building them out right now. So I'll throw that plug out there. If you go to the pinned comment, I can't post it in the description anymore, but if you go down to the pinned comment, I will leave something there as a link for a little more content and some more stuff like that. Thanks, guys. If you would like, share, and subscribe this on social media, it'll grow the interest in long range shooting for like springers and that kind of thing, and I would appreciate it very much. If that's not really something that's in your vein of interest, then maybe watch one of these videos, and I think you'll appreciate some of my powder burning content too.